The best Star Wars movie ever? Let's find out. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, follows the continued adventures of Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo as they fight against the tyranny of the Empire and try and restore balance to the Force. The Empire Strikes Back is considered by many to be the best Star Wars film ever made. And it is good, that's for sure. But whether it's the best Star Wars film ever made though, well, let's take a look and see. Empire is a much more refined movie than A New Hope. It's bigger in every way and just has more of everything, which sequels of big movies tend to do. Though with Empire, it puts all that stuff to better use than a lot of sequels do. The story's not just more of the same with bigger things going on. It actually puts all that stuff to good use and moves things forward in an interesting direction. There's a lot more going on in this story than A New Hope. We're meeting new characters, we're going to new places, there's lots of new plot threads interwoven into the story this time around. Overall, the story's just more complex. And while it is more complex, it's never convoluted like the prequels were. The better direction this time around from Lawrence Kasdan keeps the story very tight and laser focused. Overall, the direction just seems a lot less loose than it did the first time around, which is probably due mainly to the more experience that Kasdan has. Not only does Kasdan do a fantastic job of just telling this story, but also naturally setting up the building blocks for future stories. There's a lot going on here, but the movie never loses focus. With less experienced directors, this movie probably would have been all over the place. But Kasdan seems to keep things in line with a masterful touch. The performances this time around are still campy, but like A New Hope, they're that fun campy, not goofy or bad campy. While they are still campy, it does seem like the actors are taking this a lot more serious this time. That doesn't mean they lose the fun within the performances. No, that's absolutely still there. But you kind of get the feeling that they're just taking everything a bit more serious this time. When the first Star Wars movie came out, nobody knew what the hell it was going to do. I don't really think anybody was taking it very serious besides George Lucas. But by the time Empire rolls around, Star Wars was a huge phenomenon. So now it seems like everybody's just like, oh shit, this is like a thing. We gotta like buckle down and be serious now. And it does show through and actually adds a bit to the characters. And as with A New Hope, there's some of the best chemistry you've ever seen on film in this movie between Han, Luke, and Leia. Really, it's actually a little better this time around even. As to be expected, the score this time around is fantastic as usual. John Williams expands his sweeping score from the previous movie, making it even more iconic with fantastic pieces like the Imperial March. This is how a score should be done. He took the fantastic score from A New Hope and just expanded upon it in all the perfect ways. It's as iconic and amazing as a score can get. In keeping with that more, bigger, and better theme, the special effects definitely got a boost here. There's a lot more money on screen this time, and you can see it. But it's all put to really great use, and doesn't seem like the extra resources made them lazy. These are some great special effects that still hold up to this day, even more so than its predecessor. And why is that? Well, the same reason as with the last one. They're all practical effects. We get introduced to a few new characters in Empire, most notably Lando Calrissian and Yoda. If we're going by release, this is the first time we've ever seen Yoda. However, if we're going chronologically, like I am with these reviews, this would be the fourth movie he's been in. And I gotta say, while Yoda's not in this movie like a ton, he's used to better effect in this one movie than he was in all three prequels before. I like the prequels and all, but that does kind of have to say something about it. All the new characters we get this time around add something to the story. But what they don't do is take away from whose story this actually is, Luke, Han, and Leia. At the heart of it all, this is still their story. The end segment of this movie, consisting of Leia and friends escaping from Bespin and Luke and Vader's first lightsaber battle, is extremely fun and very tense. You really do feel these characters' personal stakes within these moments. It's some really great scenes. But then, that thing happens, and it all becomes about that. You know what I'm talking about. The bombshell.
I am your father.
The I am your father reveal is the biggest reveal in movie history, rivaled only by the Planet of the Apes end scene. When this happened, people's minds were blown. We take it for granted now. It's so ingrained in pop culture and just part of our overall lexicon that we just don't realize how explosive this moment was when it first happened back then. But make no mistake, this was the reveal of all reveals. Nobody saw this coming. And when it happened, like I said a minute ago, minds were fucking blown. The Empire Strikes Back is one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. Not only that, it's just one of the best movies ever made. This movie has very few flaws. It is expertly put together and executed. If you go to sit down to watch Empire, I guarantee you will have a fantastic time. The movie just never gets old. It is amazing, it's fantastic, and it is absolutely a unicorn. I've seen this movie a lot of times, probably more than any other Star Wars movie, and it just never gets old. If you've actually never seen Empire, go sit down and give it a shot, and you'll find out how amazingly awesome this movie is. So there it is, guys, my review of Star Wars, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you liked what I had to say, give me a thumbs up. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, may the Force be with you, and I'll see you next time.
No, I am your father.
While the reveal in this movie is amazing, it just wouldn't work today. In the world we live in, if Vader showed up and said, "I am your father," to this like 18 to 20-year-old kid, instead of all the questions that popped up in everyone who's watching's head and the characters on screen's head, the question that would probably pop up would be, can I get your work credentials so I can submit it to DCS and get our child support? Yep, that's probably where it would go. Tell me I'm wrong. Vader's pretty much just the galaxy's biggest deadbeat dad.